eventually making it downtown. Demonstrators even setting fire inside the Justice Center, which housed hundreds of inmates.
The events were seen unfolding in cities here and across the country in a response to the death of a black man in police custody. George Floyd died this past Monday in Minneapolis. Now, we've seen peaceful rallies both here and across the country demanding justice and calling for systemic changes, only to have the headlines stolen by riots, fires, and looting. We have team coverage for you tonight, and we're going to start with Art Edwards for us downtown. Art.
Well, we're outside of the Justice Center and the courthouse where everything sort of got started today. A large group of people gathered here earlier today. They were holding signs, they were chanting, a lot of them saying Black Lives Matter, and the police were just sort of staying back and keeping an eye on things. You can see from the video we have a large group of people that had gathered here. They sort of spilled out into the street, and at one point, Portland police began to advance forward and begin to move them out of the way. That's when this large group began to start walking all over the city of Portland. They walked all around downtown, largely followed by police at various times. At times, police would set up a blockade across the street, stop people from coming that way, push them back, either use maybe what was tear gas or something that would irritate the eyes and the throat. Use that. They would use flashbangs to disperse the crowd, and they kept moving around. They got into Waterfront Park. They moved them out of there. They got onto Burnside. They moved them out of there. They continued to do that throughout the evening. Now, right now, it is fairly quiet here downtown, right outside of the Justice Center, although there are still police officers that are outside of that building right now, keeping a close eye on it. In the distance, we have continued to hear what sound like flashbangs. We hear a lot of horns honking, so we know that there are still people out throughout the night. Police have been making that announcement saying that you need to go home, that there is the curfew that was supposed to have started at 8 o'clock, which people seem to largely ignore, as this large group that maybe split up into a couple of groups continue to walk around through downtown. We know that there were several arrests that were made, some damage to buildings, but not nearly like it was last night. We saw one window being broken. We saw some people doing some spray painting on the side of building, that kind of thing. Looks like they're trying to get it wrapped up, and we'll see if they have to continue to go through this for the rest of the night. Dan?
Art Edwards, thank you.
Well, those protests splintered off and some made it to the Lloyd district. Police were quick to arrive and declared it an unlawful assembly, forcing people to leave. Christelle Kumwe is in Northeast Portland for us tonight. And Christelle, tell us what you're seeing right now.
It is a quiet scene here in Northeast Portland by the Lloyd Center, and exactly 3 hours after the curfew went into effect. Now, let me tell you, we got on the scene about an hour ago, and honestly, you could not go a block without hearing the sirens and without hearing the police cars. As of right now, I can tell you it is quite quiet. A few cars are on a few blocks. However, when it comes to protesters, small groups, not a lot of activity. At most, we've seen maybe a group of 10 people at most, but a few stragglers running around. But again, it is pretty much a quiet scene, but heavy police presence. Earlier today, some are still in the area, but as of right now, once again, it's pretty quiet.
Christelle, thank you. We appreciate that. As you can see, things quiet in downtown Portland, but that's where we've been paying most of attention with our reporters. We have to say there are also protests happening in Salem tonight. About 30 minutes ago, Salem police tweeted this out here, warning people to avoid streets around the Capitol. A freelance journalist in Salem tells us there are about 50 people marching peacefully right now. There are also a group of armed people, they say, outside of Glamour Salon. That is that salon that defied Governor Brown's stay-at-home order and opened for business. Stay with KGW.com and our social media platforms for updates throughout the evening.
Now again, these protests originally started in Minneapolis. That's where George Floyd died while in police custody on Monday. A fifth night of protests is underway there. People have taken to the streets, defying the curfew that went into effect at 8 p.m. there. The Minnesota National Guard fully deployed, and that's an action that has never been taken in the 164-year history of the Minnesota National Guard. Police have used tear gas, trying to get crowds under control. 4 officers involved in Floyd's arrest were fired. One of them, Derek Chauvin, was charged with murder and manslaughter. Protesters in Minneapolis say they'll keep Floyd's memory alive while they push for the other fired officers to be arrested and charged in his death.
Several people have been arrested in Seattle as a peaceful rally turned violent downtown. Both directions of I-5 remain closed throughout downtown Seattle tonight, and several city streets are blocked by protesters and police. Multiple cars were set on fire, including police and transit vehicles. Dozens of businesses were damaged or looted. Governor Jay Inslee activated up to 200 members of the Washington National Guard to help law enforcement there. Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan put a mandatory curfew in effect until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. It resumes again Sunday night at 5 p.m.
Back here in Portland earlier today, Mayor Wheeler, faith leaders, and law enforcement walked around downtown to see the destruction from Friday night firsthand. Saturday morning, this is what they found. The sound of drills boarding up shattered windows echoing across downtown Portland. The damage comes as small businesses are already suffering from the economic fallout of the coronavirus crisis. Brent Collier just reopened his small men's clothing store to sell masks. He says looters took thousands of dollars worth of luggage, suits, and wallets.
But it's just tough. You know, we're just started. You know, I guess what it was is getting that little bit of feeling of pride back that I hadn't felt in a while, because I've always been proud of my store and trying to make it look good. And so just to have that taken away and not being able to feel that again, and we're just getting back to some of that.
In North Portland on MLK Boulevard, a similar scene. A business owner there told KGW people have a right to be angry, but violence and destruction is not the way to make change.
All right, let's stop for just a beat here. We've been talking about all of the destruction and damage we've seen, the nerves, the people on edge right now. But we want to put a spotlight on a message that we heard several times today. It came from elected officials. It came from leaders in the black community that the destruction we've seen should not overshadow the message that has been inspiring thousands to peacefully speak out and rally across the country and in our city. And it's our job as the media to put these riots in context. Here's Maggie Vespa.
This is not about policing strategy. We will talk about policing strategy another day. This is about how do you heal a community that has consistently been damaged over and over and over again, right? And I think the media could do a much better job of not trying to make it so simple, right? Life is not black and white. There's a lot of gray and white, right? And I think with your desire to be quick, what you do is just take one little piece and you run with it, right? This community has been in pain for decades. Where have you been?
Portland City Commissioner Joanne Hardesty is angry that overnight a message about pain and peace was overshadowed.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring.
Friday, around noon, the NAACP held a eulogy for Black America.
Please, please, please stop killing us. Let's start there.
In the evening, we saw a vigil at Peninsula Park.
And we stand with the grieving family of George, those that are in Minneapolis. We stand tonight with them.
Big crowds turned out in Portland, a place that prides itself on progressive values, but struggles to grapple with a racist past. A place that, even now, is often dubbed the whitest city in America.
They're attacking the police cars now.
Friday night, that city exploded.
It is definitely a chaotic scene down here, to say the least.
You know, it's frustrating to see that there's more attention being paid to just the unrest last night than to the eulogy yesterday morning.
Nikenge Harmon Johnson, CEO of the Urban League of Portland.
We hear high hopes from police officials, and then here we are again with George Floyd saying, "I can't breathe." It feels like we just heard Eric Garner saying, "I can't breathe," in a very similar circumstance. If people have stopped believing in that it's coming, that justice is on its way, that's the reason that they go outside to lift their voices and raise their fists in passion and pain.
As cleanup began, Portland's first black fire chief said this about any nerves the riot may have caused.
When we talk about nobody is there to protect us, that's what Black people feel every single day.
That was Maggie Vespa reporting. We want to take a live look now from Sky 8 again as the situation continues to develop over downtown Portland. We did see earlier a fire happening in this area and now a large police presence. It looks like that's almost being stamped out right now. And an arrest happening, as you can see right there. A person in that white shirt, arms behind the back. It looks like an arrest underway. As we've been telling you and showing you throughout the night, the crowds has really started to disperse after that 8 p.m. curfew into small little sections. So groups of 10, 15, 20 or more. And Dan, this is something that we've seen. So we'll continue to look at this and bring you the latest.
Police have been tweeting out as they make arrests. I believe the last count it was 18 or so, but we're continuing to see people put in handcuffs as those crowds do get smaller and smaller.
Well, still ahead here at 11, we talk with the president of the Portland chapter of the NAACP on race relations in our city, as well as in communities across the U.S., and how we can strengthen them.
That sound is the sound of you fighting hunger at the register.
Beep. 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 So the next time you're at the Safeway Albertsons checkout, please donate.
The Acura Memorial Day event. Hurry in. Visit OregonAcuraDealers.com for attractive offers on the MDX.
I was introduced into towing about 16 years ago. Once I started doing it, just enjoyed helping people out, helping them get their cars fixed, and knowing that we're going to hopefully get a customer's car back on the road safe and sound. But you never know what the circumstances are or what you're up against each and every day.
At More Furniture for Less, we're here for you. We know during these times, a good night's sleep is extremely important. We've got unbelievable deals on quality mattresses in stock starting at only $2.99. This Sherwood 2020 anniversary mattress with 6-layer construction provides an ultra plush sleep experience with the support and durability you'd expect from a high-end mattress. And for a limited time, it's only $2.99 with free shipping to your home with no contact delivery. Visit morefurniture.com to get yours today.
When America needed us to build, we built. Masks, ventilators, shields. When frontliners needed support, Ford dealers answered. And now we're open and ready to serve you. With exciting special offers and deals across the Ford lineup. Stop by a Ford dealership or go online. We've made it safer to shop, easier to buy. For a limited time, get 0 for 84 plus 3 months deferred payments on select Ford models. Only at your local Northwest Ford dealer.
We're back with another live look from Sky 8 right now, overlooking downtown Portland. We're believing this is in the Broadway area. You can see still crowds, some people walking in the street. It's hard to see through the darkness of the night, but still a heavy police presence out there trying to disperse these crowds after that 8 p.m. curfew that happened earlier tonight. And Dan, this is so important to remember the message that these protesters, the peaceful protesters, were trying to voice earlier yesterday.
Yeah, of course. The rioting, the looting, the things we've seen, we have to report on them. We have to show everything that's going on in the community, but we don't want it to overshadow the message that we've been hearing nationwide. And an important topic that we'd be remiss if we didn't cover is how white people can better be allies of people of color in our community. And tonight, I got to talk to Reverend E.D. Mondonay, who is the head of the Portland NAACP. He also spoke at the Eulogy for Black America, a peaceful rally held downtown yesterday. I asked him what people can do day in and day out to truly make an actual difference when it comes to race relationships.
An emotional crowd, most donning masks.
Get involved. Get involved, and if you don't have a black friend, make a black friend. If you don't have if you don't have somebody to talk to that can talk to you about who I am, then talk to somebody about who they are. Make a connection somewhere. You know, Martin Luther King had the dream that one day we'll be judged by the content of our character and not by the color of our skin. How can you know my character when you don't have a relationship with me? It starts with being able to see me as an equal and not be afraid when I pass you on a parking lot and there's not many people around and you hurry in to get in your car because this huge black man is on its way. You know, just making a point to say hello. I think that goes a long way as well. Show yourself friendly.
I know it's not that simple, right? Of course, we spoke for a long time. We have the raw clips from our interview talking today, kgw.com, if you'd like to take a look.
Well, let's take a live look from our Rose City sky cam tonight. After the break, Chris McGinnis joins us with a look at your forecast after a wet and severe weather Saturday.
Affordable vacations start at Curtis Trailers, Portland and Beaverton.
With zero interest and zero payments for 90 days, you have zero excuses to not have your new Hyundai by Memorial Day. Get 0% APR for up to 84 months on the 2020 Tucson and make no payments for 90 days. See your Pacific Northwest Hyundai dealer.
Across America, business owners are figuring things out, finding new ways to serve customers, connect employees, and work with partners. Comcast Business is right there with you, with a network that helps give you speed, reliability, and security, and enough bandwidth to handle all your connected devices. Voice solutions like remote call forwarding and readable voicemail, and safe, convenient installation. When every connection counts, you can count on us. Get the connectivity your business needs. Call today. Comcast Business.
Hi, I'm Cassidy from Tonight with Cassidy. Say hello to EV8, KGW's first electric car. Today, we're gonna see which goes further, $5 in EV8 or $5 of gas.
We're gonna kick gasses. Oregon has a goal of 50,000 electric cars on the road by the end of 2020. KGW is proud to be part of Oregon's mission to go electric.
Way to go, EV8.
KGW EV8, powered by the all-electric Chevy Bolt EV.
Summer sizzle is here. Savor the flavor at your next barbecue with a great deal on grills and accessories. Now at Standard TV and Appliance. Choose from gas, charcoal, smokers, Kamado, or portables. From top names like Traeger, Blaze, DCS, Wolf, and Weber, including the all-new Smoke Fire series. Plus, purchase any Weber or Traeger grill, and we'll throw in free assembly. These deals won't last long, so get yours today at Standard TV and Appliance. Best service, best selection, best people.
With zero interest and zero payments for 90 days, you have zero excuses to not have your new Hyundai by Memorial Day. Get 0% APR for up to 60 months on a 2020 Kona or Sonata and make no payments for 90 days. See your Pacific Northwest Hyundai dealer.
3 on 3 Blazers podcast. It gets crazy.
He's so fake right now. I did.
You gotta hear 3 on 3 Blazers from KGW, wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back, everyone. All across Oregon, we saw some wet weather this Saturday, but Chris, some areas saw some severe weather, including even some hail out there today.
Oh, not just hail. You know, we're talking really high winds and large hail. I mean, the kind of thunderstorms that we typically talk about in like the central U.S. In places that see really nasty weather. That's exactly the kind of outbreak that we had across central Oregon earlier this afternoon, and one of our viewers actually over in the Sun River area captured some of that hail falling. Check this out. This from Angela Harkness watching her son, Henry, kind of watching the ping pong ball sized hail splash in the kiddie pool there. Angela told us that a large tree actually fell near them as well. And that's just one of literally dozens of reports of severe weather across that part of the state. Taking you to the radar over the last 12 hours, you can see how this just lit up. Of course, we had a couple rounds of thunder and lightning in the Willamette Valley, but none of that reached the severe limits that the storms across central Oregon did. In fact, I can show you what the lightning streak data shows us. Again, it's just prolific lightning producers in addition to the hail and high winds across portions of central eastern Oregon and eventually on up into Washington. I'm happy to tell you right now that that severe weather threat is over and things are improving across that part of the state and really all over the region, but we're still going to deal with at least a slight chance of a shower early tomorrow, and then things get a whole lot quieter. We're talking mostly sunny by Sunday afternoon. Slight chance of some midweek showers, and then, well, a relatively, let's call it a seasonable week ahead when it comes to temperatures. If last week was a little too hot for you, including that 91 that we hit on Thursday, how about 70s to kick off the first full week of June, at least for Monday and Tuesday, and then it looks like maybe we cool it down a little bit from there. Across the state, it was really, we had quite a range in temperatures here. 59 in Kelso, 63, that's it in Vancouver and Portland. But Eastern Oregon, really hot today, mid-90s, no doubt some of the fuel for some of those really impressive thunderstorms that popped in that part of the state. Eastern Oregon will be cooling off tomorrow, and all of us should enjoy a respite from the rainy and wild weather that we saw today. This is a look at Futurecast early tomorrow morning. Looks like storminess pulling away up into northern parts of Washington and eventually on up into Canada, and we clear things out. So we should have a pretty nice day area-wide and really across most of the Pacific Northwest on Sunday, and then going into early next work week. Monday and Tuesday look pretty nice. The only little hiccup here is this weak system that comes through in the wee hours of Wednesday morning. That might be just enough to kick up a shower, but more importantly, it'll probably knock the temperatures down a few more degrees. So we're going to be kind of cool, I think, by the end of the week, and we bring in another chance of rain at the end of next week. But that's getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. All right, at the beach tomorrow, early shower chance, otherwise mostly sunny with highs near 60 in Pacific City and Newport. We'll give you a quick look at the Central Oregon forecast and into the 7-day. Again, shower chance early tomorrow, upper 60s, and then lower 70s on Monday, and the warm day of the week, Tuesday. Guys?
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. A nice, calm Sunday, hopefully in all facets. Still ahead, thousands of Oregonians still waiting for their unemployment checks. State lawmakers demanding answers from the people in charge.
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt, covering coronavirus from every angle.
Our exclusive new reporting inside the race for a vaccine. What should we be conscious of? Let's turn to reopening the economy.
Turn to the most trusted TV news anchor in America.
When America needed us to build, we built. And now we're open and ready to serve you with special offers across the Ford lineup. For a limited time, get 0 for 84 plus 3 months deferred payments on select Ford models, only at your local Northwest Ford dealer.
We were drowning in debt and thought a debt management company could help. They made a lot of promises. We paid their big fee, but the bills just kept coming.
Debt management companies are required to be licensed in Oregon. State law also limits the fees they can charge. Let us help you do your research before you sign an agreement. If you have questions about consumer loans, mortgages, insurance claims, or money scams, the state of Oregon has consumer advocates here to help. Get answers in action by visiting dfr.oregon.gov.
Meteorites are fun! Children are like meteorites, hurtling through space. They crash into things everywhere they go. So what do we do with our delicate items during these not-so-delicate years? Oh. Whoa! Well, those are my little meteorites.
Public storage is clean, close, and ready now with limited contact precautions. First month's rent is just $1. Save up to 30% after that. To find a unit near you, text MOP to 250250.
If your child has a common orthopedic condition, that doesn't mean you can only get common treatments. You can choose Shriners Hospitals for Children. Our world-class care is not limited to insurance networks or to what's been done before. The same doctors who innovate treatments for the most complicated orthopedic issues will help your child grow and develop properly. And we'll give your child a whole lot more than medical treatment. Shriners Hospitals for Children, the most amazing care anywhere.
When America needed us to build, we built. And now we're open and ready to serve you with special offers across the Ford lineup. For a limited time, get 0 for 84 plus 3 months deferred payments on select Ford models, only at your local Northwest Ford dealer.
Your news when you want it. Follow KGW on Facebook.
Oregon has seen record unemployment in the pandemic, and thousands of people still have not received even their first unemployment check. Today, state lawmakers grilled the heads of the Employment Department about the holdup. The OED says that the volume of jobless claims, coupled with an outdated system, has made things very difficult. They're launching this Project Focus 100. It's a push to process 100% of the backlog by hiring more staff, focusing on the oldest and most complex claims first, and being more proactive in contacting people with claims and using more technology. The OED hopes to see positive changes as soon as next week.
But we expect to see significant reductions in the wait times, and we're going to continue focusing on that.
Meanwhile, the state says about 91% of the more than 440,000 traditional unemployment claims have been processed, but only about half of those people have actually gotten paid. And that doesn't include pandemic unemployment assistance claims for people who were self-employed.
U.S. Senator Ron Wyden released a statement today calling for OED Director Kay Erickson to resign. Wyden saying in part, over the past weeks and months, it has become painfully clear that the Oregon Employment Department leadership has totally failed to meet these Oregonians' needs or to support its own dedicated employees working to process claims. He went on to say, simply put, this litany of incompetence and unresponsiveness has hit the breaking point. Well, when we come back, a historic launch to the International Space Station. Astronauts lift off from the U.S. soil for the first time in nearly 9 years.
Meet Cameron Green.
I'm really going to 5th grade.
A student at Woodlawn Elementary School.
I really like this school. They challenge you to do better things.
Watch now on YouTube.
Breathe in the bacon. Breathe out the bacon. In bacon, out bacon. Western Bacon Cheeseburger or Famous Star with cheese. Buy one, get one for just $1. Only at Carl's Jr.
I was introduced into towing about 16 years ago. Once I started doing it, just enjoyed helping people out, helping them get their cars fixed, and knowing that we're going to hopefully get a customer's car back on the road safe and sound. You never know what the circumstances are or what you're up against each and every day.
The open road, the wind in your hair, the feeling of freedom that drives us to go out and discover. At Chevy, we're committed to getting you there with confidence and peace of mind. If you need a new Chevy, interest-free APR financing for 84 months on many of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home where available. And when you do, your Chevy Clean dealers commit to using enhanced vehicle cleaning measures with CDC-approved cleansers, so you can find new roads with confidence.
Sure.
Yeah, we all want to know, honey, so.
Blue. Blue means boy. Blue means boy.
If you ride, you get it. Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Separating fact from fiction. Exclusive verified reports only on KGW.
Be like the famous star. Resilient, meaty, juicy, and other adjectives. Famous Star with cheese or Western Bacon Cheeseburger. Buy one, get one for just $1. Only at Carl's Jr.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA. Go SpaceX. Godspeed, Bob and Doug.
After a no-go during the first launch attempt on Wednesday, history unfolded this afternoon. For the first time in almost 9 years, American astronauts on an American-made rocket lifted off from U.S. soil. And another first, the spacecraft was built by a private company, SpaceX. The astronauts are heading to the International Space Station. The trip will take about 19 hours. So far, everything is going as planned. It's important to look at those things and remember some of the good in the world, too.
You know it's a busy day when that's the last story in the newscast, right?
So true. Well, thank you, everyone, for staying up with us tonight. We're going to continue to cover the situation downtown, and we will keep you updated here on air and online.
And we will see you back here, KGW News at sunrise, starting at 5 a.m. Keep in mind, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler will be giving a press conference tomorrow at 8 a.m. We will bring that to you live. Thanks again for being with us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.